Anvil Empires advertises itself as a chaotic, persistent war game where factions are constantly battling one another for territory. But what I found in my most recent playthrough this last week is that it can also offer peace. Out in the fields or up in the mountains or in the woods, there's a quiet life waiting, one where you can carve out a home and build a simple life and focus on your own small empire. There are three main ways to live in Anvil Empires. One is by building a homestead solo out in the middle of nowhere, where you can focus on anything that you like. The next is playing with a few friends and building a much larger village together, where you can focus on various resources and tasks. And finally, the last is living within the safe walls of the keep, protected from raids and war. When building a solo homestead, you're free to shape it into whatever you want. There's no set blueprint or required structure. Everything is fully customizable, letting you create a space that's entirely your own. I've seen players build cozy houses near high-traffic roads, and I've seen players build large estates out in the middle of big open fields. Out in the wild, you are surrounded by many types of resources. You can choose to specialize in one type of resource gathering, or spread out and collect a little bit of everything. You could even engage with other homesteads nearby and trade resources back and forth. Personally, I enjoy focusing on single resource types. It gives the homestead a clear identity and purpose. For example, you might become a miner and a blacksmith, venturing out to gather stone and ore, then returning home to refine it and forge it into tools and weapons. Or you could live the life of a lumberjack, chopping trees and processing lumber to expand your homestead or trade it with others. Hunting is another great option. Equip yourself with a bow and you can track wild animals, collect their meat for cooking, and even gather leather to craft low-tier armor for frontline fighters. Fishing is also available with rivers, lakes, and oceans, offering a peaceful way to stock up on food. And of course, you can embrace the role of a farmer. You can plant and harvest a variety of crops, raise animals for food, and even breed horses to sell to soldiers heading off to war. Being a solo homesteader is one of my favorite parts of this game so far. It feels really peaceful, creative, and entirely your own. Whether you're building for survival, trade, or just the joy of crafting something from nothing, being a solo homesteader, in my opinion, is the way to go. But if you're not a fan of playing solo and have a small group of friends who enjoy these kinds of games, you can team up with them and build a much larger homestead estate together. With multiple players contributing, your resource production and crafting capabilities can grow significantly. In small groups, friends can take on specific roles where one handles farming, another smithing, another does the hunting and trading, which allows for the homestead to have more efficient growth. These group homesteads often evolve into larger and more organized operations, almost like small-scale facilities you'd see in Foxhole. With more hands to help, you can produce massive amounts of food, refined materials, and pretty much anything your small group wants to focus on to help the faction. At that scale, you might even need to build walls and set up defenses to protect your hard-earned supplies. I think Anvil Empires really nails the experience of cooperative base building. Just like with solo homesteads, you can still customize pretty much everything. For me, playing with friends brings back that same feeling I had with Valheim. A tight-knit team building something meaningful together. But if you're still looking to live a mostly solo life but still want some added protection, settling inside a keep might be the right choice for you. Keeps are often where other players meet, form small groups, or get recruited into larger clans. It's a good place for new players to start, or for veterans to coordinate an attack. Keeps allow players to claim small homesteads within the safety of the city walls. While space is limited and you'll have close neighbors, you ultimately gain the benefit of security and convenience. Players living in keeps can use high-tier crafting stations and public forges without needing to build them. You also get access to the marketplace as well. This is great for solo crafters that don't want to go out and find all the resources themselves. Unlike solo homesteads, customized options are much more restricted inside keeps. You're not able to customize your house like you are out in the open fields. And living in a keep does come with a silver tax as well. You'll need to keep gathering or crafting regularly to afford your place within the walls. Overall, life in a keep is safer and can be more of a community-focused option. And it's perfect if you want to avoid raids and don't mind giving up some freedom of creativity in exchange for protection and convenience. I honestly liked living in the keep for a while because I had access to free food and equipment, but eventually I wanted to move out and be on my own. These are the three main homestead options currently available in Anvil Empires. Due to the layout of the most recent test, I wasn't able to set up an island homestead this time around, but I did in a previous test and I highly recommend you give it a chance sometime. Building a small base on an isolated island adds a unique twist to the homesteading experience, and after spending more time in the latest test, it's clear Anvil Empires is becoming its own distinct game, very different from Foxhole. While both share the concept of persistent war, Anvil Empires leans heavily into the survival mechanics, personal homesteads, resource gathering, and player-driven marketplaces. These elements, in my opinion, create a slower and more immersed style of play that sets it apart. So if you're a die-hard Foxhole fan, Anvil Empires might not fully scratch the same itch. I definitely recommend giving it a try, but I wouldn't be surprised if some players prefer Foxhole's faster, more combat-focused pacing over Anvil Empires. I'm personally excited to try out and dominate a specific resource market, and really focus on the trading aspect that is coming with this game. It will be much more interesting when they open up the entire map. I hope to see resources scattered about the map more, and have only certain areas have a specific kind of resource instead of being available anywhere. Luckily for us, the wait is not going to be much longer. The developers have stated that Anvil Empires is expected to enter early access sometime this year, so if you're interested in playing, you won't have to wait much longer. If you want to jump in sooner, you can join the official Anvil Empires Discord with a link below and sign up for the pre-alpha testing to get early hands-on experience. And if you're looking for more of a step-by-step guide and need to know what to click, Freerick has some great Anvil Empires guides. I'll make sure to link his channel in the description below. Overall, I've had a peaceful week in Anvil Empires. How will you want to live your life in Anvil Empires? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching and for your support. Make sure to subscribe for more Anvil Empires content. I'll see you out on the battlefield. Cheers.